Hello everybody. I felt I had to do this video because we've heard a lot from the mainstream media, BBC, even ITV actually. You know, when the English ladies football team was on their journey to winning the European Championships, all the BBC and ITV was talking about was the lack of diversity in the English football team. Not only the English football team, I think they said it was against the the opponents that England beat as well. Sweden, they were saying the English and the Swedish football team, but they was particularly focused on the English team, was too white. They was upset because there wasn't any ladies of colour in the starting 11 or on the substitutes bench during the campaign where they was winning matches. They wasn't focusing on the fact they was winning matches. This is all part of this New World Order agenda, this anti-white agenda, the replacement agenda as well. I mean, why people was taking a knee in this country for something that happened in America, I do not know. And when you research what Black Lives Matter is, it is a political organisation, a Marxist organisation. It stands against law and order. It stands against British culture, British heritage, British history, British monarchy. It is entirely anti-white, anti-British. Yet we're still taking the knee in football. I know the Premier League have minimised the amount of times they're going to be taking the knee. The Football League, the English Football League, they're still doing it every week. Yesterday it was not the Coca-Cola Cup, that shows my age. It's now called the Carabao Cup. It's still the League Cup. And they still took the knee in that match. If you saw my video from Gillingham versus Rochdale, you'll notice that they took the knee in that game too. Well, actually, Gillingham, fair play to Gillingham, they didn't take the knee. And apparently they haven't took the knee for a long time, thanks to their chairman going a backbone. Rochdale did and the referee did. Now, I've noticed I haven't been following Rochdale's recruitment, to be honest, over the summer. I mean, last season was shit. It was diabolical. It was terrible by Rochdale, my football team, last season. So, yes, I wasn't really following the recruitment, but I did get a few notifications on YouTube, and I did notice that the recruitment wasn't... when I did notice a pop-up come up, it wasn't a white player that Rochdale had signed, so... When I attended Gillingham, I noticed that 6 out of the starting 11 was non-white people, and that wasn't surprising to me, considering what I've seen on the odd YouTube notification that I've seen. But there seems to be clear focus by the Rochdale manager on signing players that aren't white. I thought that would probably be as bad as it gets, 6 out of the starting 11 being non-white. But, you know, the BBC's talked about the lack of diversity in the England football team, but the BBC haven't mentioned the Commonwealth Games, for instance. The relay team who won the 100 metres for England and got the gold medal, they was all black. In the males, they was all black. The BBC didn't kick off about the lack of diversity in that team. And, they wouldn't do it because they'd think to themselves, well, it's quite obvious, really, why the majority in a 100-metre sprint relay team are going to be black people. It's because they are faster than white people. But I don't understand why they're kicking off about 11 females in a majority white country being white. They have issues with that. Now, my team Rochdale played last night. And I'm sure it's broken records, and it's not a record that I'm very proud of. But I couldn't believe it when I saw the starting lineup. There's 11 players on the pitch. 10 out of the 11 players wasn't white. There was only one white person in the starting 11 for Rochdale. Now, I'm sure that's a record not only in the Football League, but any tier of English football. I don't think there's ever been any team who's fielded only one white player in the starting 11. So it's Gareth Southgate's very woke. Now, maybe the Rochdale manager's even more woke, because he seems to have a clear objective of only signing... Well, he has signed Ian Henderson back, and but apart from that, it's pretty much been a recruitment policy from Africa. It's beggars belief. He did say he'd shake it up after Saturday. Now, what I saw on that pitch, the six non-white players who played wasn't very good, and I do know the one who's shone out to me. I can't pronounce his name. He's clearly, I don't know if he's fresh off the boat from Nigeria or something, but number 20, can't pronounce your name. So I'm just going to call you number 20. But he was playing last night, and he was shocking against Gillingham on Saturday, but he played again last night. Now, Rochdale won that game. They got a penalty in the 86th minute, and guess what? Maybe he's not as woke as Gareth Southgate, because we know what happened in the European finals, don't we? Yes, the one white player in the starting 11 took the penalty and scored the penalty in the 86th minute. Rochdale went on and scored a winner in the 94th minute. And apparently Rochdale was all over this team. And this team's in the league above us, League One. And yeah, I won't get carried away with that, Rochdale fans, because when I looked where Burton was in League One, the bottom of the league, just like Rochdale, they've lost the first two matches. But Burton have played 2 games in the league, scored 0, conceded 7. So now I know that as a Rochdale fan, Rochdale's been, for the last 7 years, for the last 7 out of the last 8 years, so apart from one season, Rochdale AFC have been in League One. And I can tell you there's not a lot of difference between League One and League Two. So when you see a team at the bottom of League One who've lost 2 games, conceded 0, scored 0, conceded 7, you would hope you're going to beat them at home. And yes, it's I think Rochdale broke a record last night. 10 out of 11 of the starting lineup wasn't white. Now, I'm from Rochdale. My hometown's Rochdale, and if you go to many parts of Rochdale, it doesn't represent England. But the football team has always represented England. I don't exactly like the fact now that it doesn't represent England. And I'm pretty sure most fans don't like that either. It's time to stand up. I mean, last season I went to, when we played Oldham, to try and G some fans up, try and get them to stop, try and get them to put some pressure on the footballers, to stop the knee-bending bullshit to this Marxist ideology that's anti-white, anti-British. It's a Marxist ideology, or a movement, not an ideology, it's a movement. And it's since then it's come out now that it's well in the mainstream media that it was a big scam, because the people who donated money worldwide to Black Lives Matter, they went to a handful of black people in America, and before Black Lives Matter existed, they was all jobless, degenerates, probably involved in drug dealing and all sorts of things. And now they've got 7 mansions each. They've got mansions in Los Angeles, etc., etc. It's been exposed. All the money you donated went to a handful of people, a handful of criminals, basically. And they're laughing at you. And our footballers are still partaking in this knee-bending bullshit. And it's pushing an anti... The mainstream media love it, by the way. They are pushing the anti-white agenda. Now, they always said they would never allow politics into football. Now they have done. And Robbie Stockdale, the Rochdale manager, who's a shit manager, last season was terrible. This guy, I went watching him at Gillingham last Saturday. Shocking. And actually, I weren't too upset that we'd lost that match and we were shit, because Gillingham footballers had the gumption not to bend the knee to this Marxist ideology. Rochdale and the referee did. Now, if Rochdale wouldn't have took the knee, the referee would have looked a right plonker, wouldn't he, taking the knee himself. Now, if all teams in the Football League refuse to take the knee like Gillingham, and there's probably a few other teams like that, they're going to stop it, because the referee's going to look a plonker, blowing his whistle once, taking the knee on by himself, standing up to blow the whistle again. So Rochdale AFC, them players are complicit in this knee-bending bullshit. And we the fans, we need to stand up against this. And Robbie Stockdale, what are you playing at? 1 white man in a starting 11 for an English football team. My word, you're more woke and more you're more woke than Gareth Southgate and more jellyfish than Gary fucking Lineker. I can't believe it.